The Minister of Police bowed. The usurper's conversion, murmured the Duke, looking at the king and Dondra, who spoke alternately, like Virgil's shepherds. The usurper converted. Decidedly, my dear Duke. In what way converted? To good principles. Tell him all about it, Baron. Why, this is the way of it, said the minister, with the gravest air in the world. Napoleon lately had a review, and as 2 or 3 of his old veterans expressed a desire to return to France, he gave them their dismissal, and exhorted them to serve the good king. These were his own words, of that I am certain. Well, Blacas, what think you of this? Inquired the king triumphantly, and pausing for a moment from the voluminous scholiast before him. I say, sire, that the Minister of Police is greatly deceived, or I am, and as it is impossible it can be the Minister of Police, as he has the guardianship of the safety and honor of your Majesty, it is probable that I am in error. However, sire, if I might advise, your Majesty will interrogate the person of whom I spoke to you, and I will urge your Majesty to do him this honor. Most willingly, Duke, under your auspices I will receive any person you please, but you must not expect me to be too confiding. Baron, have you any report more recent than this dated the 20th February? This is the 4th of March? No, sire, but I am hourly expecting one. It may have arrived since I left my office. Go thither, and if there be none, well, continued Louis XVIII, make one, that is the usual way, is it not? And the king laughed facetiously. Oh, sire, replied the minister, we have no occasion to invent any. Every day our desks are loaded with most circumstantial denunciations, coming from hosts of people who hope for some return for services which they seek to render, but cannot. They trust to fortune, and rely upon some unexpected event in some way to justify their predictions. Well, sir, go, said Louis XVIII, and remember that I am waiting for you. I will but go and return, sire, I shall be back in 10 minutes. And I, sire, said M. de Blacas, will go and find my messenger. Wait, sir, wait, said Louis XVIII.
Really, de Blacas, I must change your armorial bearings. I will give you an eagle with outstretched wings, holding in its claws a prey which tries in vain to escape, and bearing this device, 10x.
Sire, I listen, said de Blacas, biting his nails with impatience. I wish to consult you on this passage, Molifugians and Helletu. You know it refers to a stag flying from a wolf. Are you not a sportsman and a great wolf hunter? Well, then, what do you think of the Mali and Helletu? Admirable, sire, but my messenger is like the stag you refer to, for he has posted 220 leagues in scarcely 3 days. Which is undergoing great fatigue and anxiety, my dear Duke, when we have a telegraph which transmits messages in 3 or 4 hours, and that without getting in the least out of breath. Ah, sire, you recompense but badly this poor young man, who has come so far, and with so much ardor, to give your Majesty useful information. If only for the sake of de Salvieux, who recommends him to me, I entreat your Majesty to receive him graciously.
De Salvieux, my brother's chamberlain?
Yes, sire. He is at Marseille, and writes me thence. Does he speak to you of this conspiracy? No, but strongly recommends de Villefort, and begs me to present him to your Majesty.
De Villefort,
cried the king, is the messenger's name de Villefort? Yes, sire. And he comes from Marseille? In person. Why did you not mention his name at once? Replied the king, betraying some uneasiness. Sire, I thought his name was unknown to your Majesty. No, Blacas, he is a man of strong and elevated understanding, ambitious, too, and, pardieu, you know his father's name. His father? Yes, Noirtier. Noirtier the Girondin? Noirtier the senator? He himself. And your Majesty has employed the son of such a man? Blacas, my friend, you have but limited comprehension. I told you Villefort was ambitious, and to attain this ambition Villefort would sacrifice everything, even his father. Then, sire, may I present him? This instant, Duke. Where is he? Waiting below, in my carriage. Seek him at once. I hasten to do so. The Duke left the royal presence with the speed of a young man. His really sincere royalism made him youthful again. Louis XVIII remained alone, and turning his eyes on his half-opened Horace, muttered, Justum et tenacem proposish virum.
M. de Blacas returned as speedily as he had departed, but in the antechamber he was forced to appeal to the king's authority.
Villefort's dusty garb, his costume, which was not of courtly cut, excited the susceptibility of M. de Brezé, who was all astonishment at finding that this young man had the audacity to enter before the king in such attire. The Duke, however, overcame all difficulties with a word, His Majesty's order, and, in spite of the protestations which the Master of Ceremonies made for the honor of his office and principles, Villefort was introduced. The king was seated in the same place where the Duke had left him. On opening the door, Villefort found himself facing him, and the young magistrate's first impulse was to pause.
Come in, M. de Villefort, said the king, come in.
Villefort bowed, and advancing a few steps, waited until the king should interrogate him.
M. de Villefort, said Louis XVIII, the Duc de Blacas assures me you have some interesting information to communicate.
Sire, the Duke is right, and I believe your Majesty will think it equally important.